Hey guys, this video is called Enhanced Conversions for Leads, a comprehensive guide. This video is going to go over how to set up enhanced conversions in Google Tag Manager, Google Ads, and we're going to use a variable in Google Tag Manager called the CSS selector, or I should say we're going to utilize a variable that will take advantage of the CSS selector. Okay, so tracking conversions, for some background guys, has become both a necessity and a challenge. Recent developments in the digital ecosystem, such as the iOS update, particularly Safari's Intelligent Tracking Prevention, ITP, and Enhanced Tracking Protection, ETP, that's the Firefox version, along with the ongoing debates surrounding cookie deprecation, have significantly complicated the process of understanding the impact of online ads and offline conversions. One of the prevalent methods used for offline conversion tracking has been the GCLID, the Google Click Identifier. However, like I said, with iOS updates actively stripping ad clicks of crucial parameters and identifiers, this method has faced limitations, leaving marketers, such as yourself, such as myself, searching for a more robust and sustainable solution. Okay? So I've written about this in more detail, but in this tutorial, we'll delve into a GCLID-less alternative from Google called Enhanced Conversions for Leads. This offers a way to track offline conversions without the reliance on parameters affected by the changes that I mentioned. So Safari ITP and Firefox ETP, as well as the most recent iOS changes. Okay, let's talk about offline conversions in actions. So what do I mean by offline conversions? What are offline conversions in action? So let's explore the concept of offline conversions through the lens of a mortgage company. Picture a situation where this company runs a digital advertising campaign to attract potential home buyers. Okay, these ads capture the attention of individuals actively searching for mortgages. Intrigued, they click on the ads to explore the company's offerings and services. Afterward, these prospects might take the next step by visiting the mortgage company's local office to meet with a loan officer, discuss mortgage options, and initiate the application process. Eventually, some of them secure mortgages and purchase their dream homes. In the scenario, while the initial interaction with the mortgage company occurred online through ad clicks, the ultimate conversion, the home purchase, actually happened offline. Right? So they may have filled out a lead form online where the email actually was captured after the ad click happened. Then offline, when the person went into the office, the conversion happened where the home was purchased. So recognizing the significance of these offline conversions, it becomes clear that tracking them is indispensable. Relying solely on online conversion data would neglect crucial insights into how online ads drive real-world actions like mortgage applications and home purchases. To gain a holistic understanding of the effectiveness of their advertising efforts, mortgage companies, for example, must import and measure these offline conversions. Now, OCI, right, offline conversion import, I believe it's called, use the traditional method, the Google Click Identifier, or GCLID. So in the past, mortgage companies, if we stick with that example, and other businesses often turn to the Google Click Identifier, the GCLID, as a means of tracking offline conversions. So this unique identifier, embedded in ad URLs, you'll see question mark equals, or no, it'll be question mark GCLID equals, and then kind of a alphanumeric string, right? That would be something that identified a user that clicked on an ad, and then it would be appended to a query string parameter in a URL. Okay? So this facilitated the connection between online ad engagements and subsequent offline activities. such as in-person meetings with loan officers and mortgage transactions. Now, however, given the evolving digital landscapes and challenges, the reliability of the GCLID for offline conversion tracking has faced scrutiny, prompting marketers to explore more resilient alternatives. Again, here we go with enhanced conversions for leads. Now, in this tutorial, I want you to get some things kind of in line as prerequisites. So before you get started, so let's get our ducks in a row before we dive into enhanced conversions for leads. So you'll need a website with a lead form. If you don't have this, it might be a little bit tricky. So this is where all the action starts. People fill out these forms, and that's what we're tracking. For the purpose of this demo, you're going to need Google Tag Manager installed. If you don't already have Google Tag Manager, GTM, your website might have to get this up and running with a G tag. However, now's the time to make this happen. I really recommend getting Google Tag Manager up and running. It really kind of sets the stage for proper tag management for sure. Okay, it helps you manage all the tracking stuff without kind of pulling your hair out or lifting the hood of your website and kind of meddling with the code every time. There's a risk associated with that. You'll of course need a Google Ads account as well. Okay, that's where all the magic happens. That's where you tell Google what to look for and how to track it. Okay, so why are these things important? Well, your website is kind of ground zero for user interactions. GTM is the tool that helps you collect the data, and Google Ads is where you make sense of it all. They're like the dream team, tracking all your ads' impact on offline conversions. So make sure these things are in place before we roll up our sleeves and set this all up. Okay, let's get started. All right, I've got my espresso. I've got the documentation that I wrote, so wish me luck. I'm in Google Ads over here, and what I want to do is go to the account that I'm going to set up my conversion action in. Okay, so we're going to the account, and we're going to go to Tools and Settings, Conversions. Right, if I went too fast. Tools and Settings, under Measurement, go to Conversions. Okay. Now, hopefully you all know this, but in case you don't, create a new conversion action. Now, the type of conversion action is going to be an import. You can see here, you can import conversions from Google Analytics, from Salesforce, offline lead conversions, or phone sales. This is what we're going to do, offline lead conversions. That's going to be the purpose of this import. So here we're going to click on other data sources or CRMs, and we're going to click on track conversions from clicks. Click on continue. Now let's give it a goal. So it's going to be a lead form. Okay. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to just call it demo for my purpose here. And it's going to be contact form. I'm going to say bottom of page. That's where the contact form is located. I always like to differentiate the names of my conversion actions by specifying something that identifies the conversion action. Okay. This part is important, not this one specifically, but I'm just going to click on use the same value for each conversion. And because it's a lead-based conversion, we're going to click 1 for the amount of conversions to count per interaction. Right? This is recommended for leads, signups, or other conversions because only the first interaction is valuable. It's not like somebody interacts multiple times and that's counted as potentially multiple purchases, right? We just want one lead to turn into one customer in this case. Let's click on create and continue. So I think traditionally there's a button that says use or turn on enhanced conversions. Because I've done this before, you don't see it. but you will see a checkbox and it will say turn on enhanced conversions for leads. Make sure to turn on that checkbox. Check that checkbox. Okay. Okay, so there's a few ways you could get data into the platform afterwards. You know, when you are actually capturing your phone number from your lead or your email from your lead, you can import the data back into Google Ads once the transaction is successful offline, and you can select how you're going to do that. You can import the data from your CRM system, from an upload, let's say Google Sheets or an Excel file or CSV, or you can have a direct connection with an API. Perfect. Here it is, demo, contact form, bottom of page. Okay, so that crucial piece that I was talking about, and I never really kind of recapped, it was the checkbox. That's what I meant. So you want to actually, when you see that checkbox that says enhance conversions for leads, you want to enable that by checking that checkbox. All right, so now let's head over to Google Tag Manager. And I'll show you here. I've got a demo Google Tag Manager account. Okay. And I want to delete this stuff because I've already done it. And because this is live, I'm setting this up on the fly. Okay. I'm going to set this all up with you so we can do it together. Okay. So, in Google Tag Manager, what you want to do is go to New. You want to go to Variables. Right. I'm going to be making these over again. So you're in the Variables section, right? And you're going to be clicking on New. And let's call it phone number DOM element, right? Because we're going to be grabbing the inputted phone number from your website contact form. And then here, you're going to click on DOM element. And the selection method, in this case, is going to be CSS selector. And then under element selector, that's where we are going to actually grab it from the network tab or the Chrome Dev Tools, right? So here, let's go over to our website. This is my test website. And I'll go, this is my form at the bottom of the page, right? Let's say, for example, I'm putting in my phone number. I'm going to right-click this field, click Inspect, and then underneath on this field here, I'm going to right-click, go to Copy, and then click on Copy Selector. Copy Selector. Okay. I'm going to go back to GTM, put the selector over here, right? That's what I copied, and there it is. Click on Save. Now we're going to do the same thing for email. We're going to say email, and then we're going to call it the same thing, DOM element. Okay. Selection method, CSS selector, go back to our site. Let's put an email in there. test@test.com, fine with that. Right click on the field, inspect, go here, copy selector, paste, and then save. So we have those two variables, and they're going to be grabbing the contents of the email input field and the phone input field, after the form is submitted. Okay, and what we want to do as well is click on New. We're going to create another variable. Like I said, I'm going through my own documentation here, guys. And we want to set up a user-provided data event. Okay, so instead go to Tags. Scroll down, user-provided data event. So it's asking for a conversion ID. You may be asking yourself, why do I need that in this case? Like, why is we didn't generate a conversion ID in our conversion when we made it? It's supposed to be an offline conversion tracking tag. So in this case, we need to actually associate it with something in Google Ads. So we need to go back to Google Ads, go to Tools and Settings, and then click on the Google tag. So in our case, we're going to grab the G tag or the AW dash number, and it's going to be the number after the dash. So let's grab that, manage Google tag. Here it is. So it's that number after the dash. You can do this a couple ways, right? You can also go to installation instructions, install manually, and grab it here. Doesn't matter, as long as it's the number after the dash. Go back to GTM, put the conversion ID here, and you can see I'm not including AW dash, it's just the number itself. Okay. All right, so I write about this in the article in more detail. You want to make sure you have a conversion linker tag as well. We'll set that up too. But the trigger in this case is going to be a form submit trigger. Let's call it a form submit trigger. Okay. Form submission, right? You can actually just say all forms. If you want to select some forms, you need to identify where that particular form is. On my website, I only have one page and one form, so I'm just going to do that. Save. Okay, form submit trigger. Typically with these ones, you want to say check validation, because you don't want to just submit it when it's not it's unsuccessful, right? If somebody doesn't fill out a required field, you don't want the tag to submit. So you want to actually submit check validation. Only submit the tag when the form passes all the validation checks. All the required fields have been filled out. But this is a basic example. I'm just going to click on save. Okay, we're going to call it, I don't know, let's call it enhanced conversions for leads. Okay, save. Oh, this is key. I could have created a variable beforehand for this, but we could do it now. It doesn't really matter. The important part is we've already created variables for our email and for our phone, and we can kind of reference that here. So this section, user provided data, let's click on new variable for that. And here, right? So we can call it user provided data. And we're going to do a manual configuration. We're going to select the email variable that we just made. Let's find it in our variable list. There's phone number. Where's email? Email, where are you? There you are. Email DOM element. Okay. Let's grab phone. Phone DOM element. Very good. Save. Save again. And now let's add that conversion linker, because by default, Google Tag Manager, if it's a brand new install, it doesn't have that. Conversion, oops, I should learn to spell or type conversion linker. Okay. Let me check. Is that everything? That trigger? Yep. Yeah, from Google Tag Manager's perspective, that's everything. So I'm going to submit, I'm going to publish, and I'm going to continue. Great. Now what should happen, this isn't a fully functional website, so it won't happen, but the phone number, the name, the email, and the message, once you send it and the form validation trigger is successful, this data should be passed, the phone number and the email, to the user provided data event, and it'll capture that and then push it to that AW-G tag number that we specified. So that will make the association with the Google Ads account, right? And then what you want to do is you want to go back to your Google Ads account and you want to kind of notify Google Ads that a conversion actually has taken place. If you go back to our conversion here, you can either manually upload the phone number and the email in a sheet back to Google Ads, or you can use the API, or you can use your CRM system. Right? So here you can go to Edit Settings, and you can do the import. You can do your import here in the Uploads page. In a similar way that you've done offline conversion import, you can do that here, right? You could use a FTP URL. You could use, or just a URL on your server, right? You can password protect it or not, or you can use SFTP, not just FTP, excuse me. And you can have it, automatically update and that sort of thing. If it's a sheet, you can have it automatically fetch new data, or your CRM can handle all of this for you and then output it to a source URL. Okay, very cool. If you're doing this manually, try to hash your data, right, with the latest encryption method. Now, SHA-256 encryption is the latest, so it's a secure hash algorithm, right, 256-bit, and it's used for cryptographic security. It ensures the security and, of course, the integrity of the data that is being transferred. Now, you could automate this process from your CRM. And not only is this more efficient, but it's more secure and scalable. So that's certainly recommended. There are folks out there that have created scripts for the hashing and the automation of your Google Sheets file, but typically a good CRM can handle this stuff for you. And the idea is you'll create a URL and reference that URL here, right? And you can create a schedule so that it's automatically fetched whenever you have, let's say, depending on your business logic, whenever there are conversions to upload in bulk, that kind of thing. So every week maybe, or every few days, depending on the size and the nature of how you get offline conversions. But just make sure to include a timestamp and the correct G-tag ID in your Google tag for offline conversion import or enhanced conversions for leads in the way that we referenced it here. Right, so this makes that association between the Google Ads user provided data event and your Google Ads account. Right. Make sure to also include the email and the phone number in your export from your CRM or your Google Sheets file. Right. There are certainly ways to preview and debug this as well. And you can see after you submit the form if these particular variables are functioning properly. Whether the DOM element email or the DOM element phone number is populating after you submit the form. It's important to check that before you deem this as fully complete. Again, because my thing here is just a demo and it's not functioning, I don't have the ability to check it, but I would strongly suggest that you do that. And this is just how I would set it up and how I've written about setting it up. It does work though, take my word for it. But that's it. Hopefully that was helpful to you guys from an implementation perspective. I think we covered a lot. And also we kind of went over the what and the why in the beginning of the video. So if you have any questions, shoot me a note in the comments and I'll try to answer. All right. Thanks so much. Hopefully that was helpful.